Hello, welcome to our movie podcast. Today I'm joined by Sophia, Justin, and myself, Ted. And we're going to be talking about the movies in recent weeks, movies that are coming out in the future, and movies that we're all, as audience members, looking forward to watching this summer. So I'm going to start off with 3 movies that have been very popular in the past 3 weeks. And I'm going to start us off with Sinners. I'm sure you've heard of Sinners. Let's kick things off with Sinners. This movie was a sleeper hit. It had very low expectations. It had very minimal buzz. And then boom, box office gold. So I think what made Sinners work wasn't just the story, but also the vibe. It had that gritty, grounded energy that audience members have been craving recently. It didn't really rely on only flashy effects or franchise baggage. It just told a very compelling story. And honestly, it's refreshing to see something original like this thrive in theaters, and it serves as a reminder that not every blockbuster movie needs a cape or a multiverse to succeed. So next, I have another movie I'm sure you guys have heard of, Thunderbolts. Now, Thunderbolts, this had one ingredient for success: a fan favorite cast, also a darker tone, and the promise of something different from Marvel. But I'm going to focus more on the fan hype versus the reality. Because despite the hype, it stumbled at the box office, and it's really wild how a movie can have so much online love and still not translate to ticket sales. Maybe it's the superhero fatigue, maybe the story just didn't resonate or connect well with audience members. But bottom line is Marvel cannot really go on like this. And it makes you really wonder, what is the future of Marvel Studios going to be like for future movies and projects coming out. And it also serves as another reminder that fan excitement doesn't really equate to mainstream success. You need both buzz and also the execution. So it really makes you wonder, like, what went wrong really. It had really great characters, great cast, great marketing, and just lacked that, I guess there's lacked the spark that very audience members wanted. Lastly, I want to talk about Mission Impossible, a legendary franchise. So, with the final chapter on the horizon, this franchise isn't just wrapping up, it's honestly bowing up with style. It's been nearly out for 3 decades, redefining action cinema, and honestly, it's hard to imagine the genre without it. Tom Cruise didn't just play Ethan Hunt, he became the blueprint for modern action heroes. From scaling the Burj Khalifa to hanging off jets mid-takeoff, his commitment to these practical stunts really changed the game. He made danger feel real again, and that authenticity lacking in movie theaters nowadays is something audiences crave for. So this send-off isn't just the end of a franchise, it's the closing chapter of an era where action heroes earn their stripe through grit and not just CGI. So Mission Impossible really left behind, at least for me, it left behind a very legendary legacy of precision, intensity, and respect for the craft. Compared to the earlier mentioned movies like Thunderbolts and Sinners, it's a reminder that spectacles mean more when it's grounded in real risk. And that's why Mission Impossible will always be more than just a movie. It's a masterclass in how to do action right, and it's my personal favorite out of all 3 of the movies mentioned. So how about movies that are coming out, Justin?
Right, so I got 3 movies lined up for you, for the movies coming out. I think the first is definitely Fantastic Four, releasing on July 25th. It's obviously Marvel's first family, extremely highly anticipated. I think it's been teased to us after Endgame. So there's a lot of pressure on Marvel to perform and succeed, especially after the poor box office reception at Thunderbolts. They really need this to succeed if they want to move forward with future products. So spoilers ahead for Thunderbolts. We see them entering the MCU in the Excelsior, and we're expecting big things from this movie, especially after John Watts' exit, because after he's done with the superhero genre, after directing the 3 Spider-Man movies, with Matt Shackman heading the film now. And after the poor reception of the 2015 Fantastic Four, I'm sure we know how that went. Lots of people are really hoping that this will succeed because it genuinely looks like a very, very good movie heading into an alternate reality. outside of the main MCU timeline, set in a futuristic 1960s world. Seeing New York City in that way, I think is very, very interesting. And last but not least, we get to see, finally an accurate live-action Galactus on the silver screen. Last time we saw this was around in 2008 when he was just a cloud, and I'm sure it disappointed a lot of people because they really wanted to see, this multiversal villain finally show up and fight the Fantastic Four, or at least hope they fight the Fantastic Four. And another superhero movie I want to talk about is Superman from James Gunn, releasing on July 10th. James Gunn really needs this to work, because if this doesn't work, I think the entire DCU as a whole just fully fails, because this is meant to be what Iron Man was to Marvel Studios. It was meant to kickstart the universe, get a lot of fans to come in and start to build hype for a bigger universe, which is something I really hope to see in the future with this film. And I'll definitely be watching it for sure. And I really hope that Batman comes in, because we've seen him in Creature Commandos. He's just a shadowy figure, but we've been told by James Gunn that there will be an end credit scene, so I really hope that we get to see him there. This is not an origin story, for starters. This is, we're in year 3 Superman, so we're gonna see what it's like in sort of a brighter universe compared to Zack Snyder's Superman. And last but not least, we got the F1 movie, again, very highly anticipated. We've been seeing it being filmed in an actual F1 race, so it's very cool to see how they fully integrated an 11th team into the grid, and how seamless it felt. And seeing all the drivers on the big screen, it's very special. You watch them growing up, and to see them as a moviegoer, I think is truly something to take in as like a once in a lifetime experience. But it's a Hollywood movie. It's gonna have a lot of flaws, like a lot of super unrealistic moments. But overall, I'm very excited for the work. I've heard a lot of people praise it as a very realistic film, more realistic than they thought. So yeah. And after we talk about the Hollywood movies, I want to jump over to China, as they have another new movie releasing in July. So Sophia, I can take the torch.
And next I'm going to talk about a Chinese movie called The Lychee of Chang'an, and it's a film that talks about interesting story happened in Tang Destiny, and based on novel. So I read this novel before, and I think it's really highly recommended. So it's Lychee of Chang'an presents a simple premise that unfolds into a profound commentary on bureaucracy and human resilience. The story follows low-ranking official Li Shande, tasked with the impossible mission of transporting fresh lychee across vast distance to please the imperial court, a logistical nightmare that imposed the dark underbelly of Tang Destiny, Golden Age. Through actor Nang's performance, we witness an ordinary man's transformation as he navigates a gauntlet of bureaucratic obstacles, all while confronting the human cost of his mission. The film's brilliance lies in its quiet moments, the trauma in Li's hands as he calculates a bribe, the juxtaposition of carefully packaged fruit against collapsing horses, that collectively built into a devastating critique of systematic corruption. So as the pristine lychees finally reach their destination, their perfect appearance believes the moral decay they represent, leaving both audience with a holy victory. What begins as a historical drama gradually reveals itself as a timeless allegory, holding up a mirror to modern systems where procedure trumps humanity and success often demands complicity. The lingering question isn't whether Li succeed, but whether any of us would have act differently when faced with the same impossible choices with a beautiful, constructed, yet fundamentally ruthless machine of power. So that's all for our movie discussion, and hopefully you enjoy this podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Can't wait to watch these movies in the theaters.
Yeah.